Okay, we have just gone live, episode 7 of the Vegan Hour. Good evening, folks. I hope we have sound. Before we get going, I'm just going to do a sound check on my computer. Bear with me a moment and we'll see if it's happening. Okay, there is... Yes, we have sound. Okay, all is good in the world of the Vegan Hour. So, back to... Hello, and I have my friend Karen with me, who is a healthy vegan yogi, and she has travelled so far to get here tonight. I mean, such an arduous journey that I really appreciate how far you had to go to get here tonight.
I would do anything for you, Harry.
That could be a problem, but now this is episode 7. This is Tuesday, the 28th of June. And Karen is joining me tonight, and she's going to tell us a bit about her journey, her vegan journey, her yogi journey, and some of the modalities that you do. It's modality would be the right word, wouldn't it? Yeah, some of the modalities that you do. So Karen is a very interesting person. Before we get into talking to her about this, I just want to mention next week's events. And we've got the federal election this Saturday, July the 2nd, and I am recommending the Animal Justice Party, and well, we've got little, you'll be able to see these little symbols come up. Well, you would if you were able to, if you were wearing your glasses, but
no, I can see
you can see it good. Okay. So on the federal election, Nicole, thank you for joining us, and Emma, thank you for joining us. Lots of thumbs coming up. I like it. That's and that as well. Yes, the Animal Justice Party. I'm recommending that you vote for the Animal Justice Party. If you look at my Facebook page, you'll see the preferences in my cover photo. You'll also, or I should say, also the Animal Justice Party is looking for volunteers to hand out the leaflets. So, yeah, if you're able to do that, you can actually go to the Animal Justice Party Facebook page, and then you should be able to find a link from there. So Simon says, vote AJP. Spot on, Simon. So that's on Saturday. And the other thing I wanted to mention also is this week we are continuing the competition to win a $50 meal at Mandela Organic Arts Cafe. Now, Mandela Organic Arts Cafe is 100% vegan. They have they're open 6 nights a week, from Tuesday to Sunday. They do dinner Tuesday to Sunday, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday they do brunch, lunch, and dinner. So I highly recommend any of their pizzas, which are fantastic. They're all on a spelt base. You can get gluten-free pizzas. They have a cashew cream on top. Really, really fantastic. And then there's the one of my favourite brunch or lunch dishes, which is the waffles or the tofu scramble. They've got a beautiful outdoor garden area, so or you can eat indoors, big area indoors. They have live music at night. This is a big plug for Mandela's. You've been to Mandela's? Yeah, you like it? Yeah. You've eaten it, yeah. So well, the competition is very, very simple. To go in the running, simply share this live stream as many times as you can. Share it on your own page, share it on your friend's page, and as I like to say, share it on your enemy's page. So, yeah, just share the live stream, and whoever has shared the live stream the most wins the $50 giveaway, $50 food giveaway, meal giveaway, dinner, lunch, whatever, from Mandela's. So thank you to Vlad and Mandela's for that. Very much appreciated. So we've got quite a few people starting to join us there and mentioning the AJP. And Nicole says best pizzas. And yes, Nicole, they are very, very good pizzas there. Benjamin says the most incredible pizzas there. Looks like we're going to be talking about pizzas tonight. Let's talk about pizzas tonight, yeah. And Andrew, thank you for joining us. Okay. I'll also mention, no, I'll mention that later. Okay. So, Karen.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. Now, let's find out a little bit about yourself. Now, you're quite I've billed you as a healthy vegan yogi, right? Now, what I know about you, Beck, thank you for joining us, and Saba, thank you. What I know about you is that you've can I mention where you worked previously? We were talking about that. Yeah. You worked for a number of years at they call it Eden Health Retreat now, do they?
Yeah,
they used to call it Camp Eden.
Camp Eden, yeah.
Yes, used to be called Camp Eden. It's now Eden Health Retreat. Now, you were doing, what were you doing there?
Mainly kahuna massage, but all sorts of massage types.
Okay, so kahuna massage, which you've been doing for about 10 years, I believe. Yeah. So you do the kahuna massage. Can you tell us a little bit about kahuna massage? That's one of the things you do. Mm-hmm. Just gives you a little bit of a...
Well, the kahuna is a mind massage, and it works on the body, mind, and spirit. It is a flowing massage, and so I use my hands, my forearms, and if I need to, my elbows as well. And it goes around the body, and it is quite a unique type of massage, whereas the person can really relax. There's a special type of music that's used as well, and and it's very different. It works on the channels of the body, the energy channels of the body, the meridians, and then it helps to clear those. So any sort of negative patterns or accumulations that are happening in the body can be released. It depends on the body, on the person as well, whether they're ready to let go of these things. Or when we also use the breath. So I use my breath and they use the breath, and it just helps to bring a deep sense of well-being.
A deep sense of well-being. Oh, I like the sound of that. That's good. Now, I'll just interrupt you there for a second. John's saying he can't get the video to produce sound. I believe everyone else is okay. Can we just have a confirmation of that? And I'll just check, because I have sound on my computer. Let me just reconfirm that. Yep. Yeah, that's fine. I've got sound here, so that must be just isolated to you, John, I think, not having the sound. Now, you're talking about the meridians, and you're talking about the energy and how it's having a calming effect, and that ties in with your Kundalini yoga that you do, because that's working on the chakras or the meridians. On the chakras. Yeah, oh, you pronounce it chakras, and I pronounce it chakras. Doesn't matter. Yeah, we know it is. Jasmine says Eden Health Retreat. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I left there quite some number of years ago. So
did you say you lived there, or you worked there? I thought you said you lived there.
I left.
You left there. You left there. You left there a number of years ago.
Yeah,
yes.
So they have changed.
But you're one of the people fortunate to live in the beautiful Crumman Valley that I live in as well. Mm-hmm. Hence why you had to travel so far to get here.
That's right.
Jessica, thank you for joining us. Nice to see you again. Now. So, Kundalini yoga. Mm-hmm. I've never done it, so just give me a little bit of a thing about what I would expect if I went to a Kundalini yoga session.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a different type of yoga. It doesn't just rely on postures alone. We usually start off with a chant, opening chant, then we'll go into a kriya. So a kriya is a certain set of postures that cleanse the energy centers or the chakras, because every day they're accumulating different energies, and we clear that with the kriya. These are designed by master yogis from thousands of years ago, and they after each posture we go into a meditation. So we just sit and just feel. So Kundalini yoga is the yoga of awareness. So we're just feeling in and seeing what, we may have been doing something for 5 minutes or 2 minutes, or each posture is timed. So I'm timing the posture. We might be doing the breathing. Okay. Sometimes we may be laughing during the posture. Sometimes we might be...
You mean we actually get to enjoy it?
We might be dancing.
Dancing. That could be embarrassing.
We could be coughing. We could be holding the arms at a certain angle.
I have to interrupt you there for a second, because Emma's asked a good question there. Yeah. How can you unblock the throat chakra?
How can you?
Do you have? Is that something that you can do in the Kundalini yoga? Is that something that comes up?
Each kriya.
Oh, and Nicole's asked if you could speak a little bit louder.
Yeah. I thought that might be a problem.
That's better. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
During a class, we will work on most of the energy centers, and that will help clear throat chakra. The base chakra will be going up and down depending on the kriya. Sometimes it's to bring in more energy. Sometimes it's to promote a healthy back. It just depends on the kriya, because each time you come, it will be something different. So it's never the same thing each week. So it really works on the glandular system and also the nervous system. These are the two key components that we're working on, so that your mood changes and also your hormones change. So it's a scientific technology.
So if I went every week and my mood changed and my hormones changed, would I end up becoming so perfect that I don't need to go anymore?
Well, eventually you might be self-realised.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember I self-realised in the summer of 47. That was a good summer.
You went around there.
I know. Okay.
In another life.
So, in another life. And that's now, you do that in a sex? Oh, sorry, I mentioned sex. That's funny how that tied in with Kundalini, because that's what I always think. In a sorry, I went New Zealand then. In a 6-week session or something, don't you? The Kundalini, 6 weeks.
Yes. So I do a special theme for the 6 weeks workshop. So I'll make up. There's hundreds of kriyas and meditations
I'm doing a promo.
within the class. We will do the kriya, which is the postures, and then we'll go into a relaxation, and we might be listening to the gong, which works on the subconscious layer of the body or the mind. And then we will go into a meditation, and the whole thing is designed by myself to this certain theme, and each time I have a different one. So.
Okay, so I just read Emma's comment. Good on you, Emma. 6 weeks of sex.
Or laughing.
Or laughing,
Or dancing.
yeah, or dancing, yes. Nicole says, can this help hypothyroidism, which is one of the...
Definitely.
Oh, good. No hesitation on that one. You're certain of that one.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay. There you go, Nicole. It can. 6 weeks of sex, Emma, that sounds good. Where do I sign up? Now, Jasmine says, I've read that Jiva Mukta Yoga practices veganism. Do Kundalinis practice veganism too? Well, you certainly do. You certainly do, and we're going to talk about your journey as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, in general, do you know?
They are vegetarians that don't eat eggs. So
Okay.
They will eat.
Okay. Yes.
cheese.
So they still have dairy. Yeah.
Yeah. Dairy,
So
except the eggs.
Emma says Emma's replied to her previous thing about 6 weeks of sex. It's hard to say that. That's a tongue twister.
It is,
She said to help unblock some stuff. Probably wouldn't be able to walk straight at the end of it, or even halfway through it. But anyway,
Yeah.
Vanessa joined us. Thank you for joining us, Vanessa. Okay, so let's move on from 6 weeks of sex, and try to keep it above the navel. Your vegan journey now. You've got an interesting history in that your mother was quite reasonably alternative, reasonably aware. Now, your mother was doing yoga in the 1960s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is, I mean, how many people out there were doing yoga in the 1960s? Anyone? If you know anyone that was doing it, let us know, because okay, we're back. Yeah, we had a slight glitch in the transmission then. So yeah, yoga in the 60s, that's fairly alternative. And you were, as a young person, was seeing your mum doing this, and this had an influence. Mm-hmm. She also was vegetarian at a young age, is that right?
No, she wasn't.
Oh, she wasn't vegetarian.
No.
But you went vegetarian you originally went vegetarian over 20 years ago, didn't you? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
23 years ago.
23 years ago, okay.
Yeah. Well, I started the process. I cut out red meat 23 years ago.
That's right.
And then a couple of years later,
you cut out chicken. Yeah.
And then fish.
And then fish. And then you went vegan about 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Yeah.
And then thus you became a healthy vegan yogi.
I did.
You did.
But I stopped drinking milk, cow's milk, 23 years ago.
Wow.
And I just want to say that I had some x-rays done a year or two ago, and the x-rays came back and saying that everything was excellent, the bone density is excellent.
Yeah.
And
as it should be.
Yeah, and that I had the spine of someone much younger than
Did you think of giving it back?
my age.
You had the spine of someone much younger. Did you think of giving it back?
Give it back.
Yeah, give it back. You didn't get that joke?
No.
It's like, I've got the body of someone much younger. Well, you should give it back to them.
Oh, right.
Okay. Jessica says her nana did yoga for many years. So, Jessica, was that like a long time ago as well, was it? Like back in the 60s before the invention of the dinosaur? Connection is weak. We're going to be a little pixelated for a while, but it'll fix itself up. Anyway. Okay, so what was you went vegan about 4 years ago. What was so what were you dropping out there? So you hadn't been having milk for 23 years.
No.
So what were you dropping out to make the final step there then? What had you just cheese, right? Because that was the only animal product you were having. That was because you cut out red meat, chicken, fish, along the line.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Now, did you notice a difference in cutting out the cheese as well, or it was pretty hard to tell? Or
I think my husband told me that in the mornings when we used to wake up, I had a bit of a snotty nose, and then after I cut out the cheese, then that went away. So
and I
you can relate?
Oh yeah, I can relate to friends that I know that are vegetarian. That when I hang around them, they're sniffling all the time. And I've been seeing it for decades with vegetarian friends of mine. Same thing at different ages and whatever, and often sniffling. And it's quite noticeable. It's quite noticeable also. The breath of a vegetarian with the dairy is quite noticeable sometimes. It's not very pleasant. It's another thing I've noticed. Jessica says that yes, her nana was doing it a long time ago. She's in her 70s, but unfortunately is not a vegan or a vegetarian. Interesting that, Jessica, that your nana was aware enough to be doing yoga a long time ago, but didn't make the other connections. But then this is the same with your mum, wasn't it? She didn't make the other connections.
Yeah. She did a lot of healthy things, different sorts of things. But she didn't cut that out.
Yeah.
And shall we talk about my dad?
Yes. So, okay. So, with your father, this was interesting also. So, with your father, tell us a bit about his experience. Your mother is still with us on the planet.
She is.
Your father has left his body now.
Yes.
And tell us why that happened.
So, he got bowel cancer when he was 64 years of age. And he was about to retire. And he was on holiday at the time, and he went to the doctor, saw blood in his stool, and he went off to the doctor, and they said, you need to quickly get back home and go and see your doctor back here. And within a short amount of time, they found out that he had the bowel cancer. And within a year, he had passed on. So it was pretty quick and a bit of a shock for my mum too.
Yeah.
And I remember giving Dad the book, You Can Conquer Cancer by Ian Gawler.
It
was about meditation, eating, juicing and pranayama, which is breathing techniques, and taking the stress out of your life. And he did read it, which was great. And I got him onto noni juice as well, because that was a big thing back then.
Yes. How long ago was this? When you say back then, 10 years ago or more? Or?
More.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
16, 17.
So you mentioned Ian Gawler. Now, anyone out there remember Ian Gawler? Because I had not heard his name, I reckon, for decades. I reckon it's been maybe 20 or more years since I've heard his name mentioned. But Ian Gawler was one of the early names that I heard mentioned that cured cancer, and the book. What was it? You can cure cancer. Something. Yeah.
Conquer cancer.
You can conquer cancer. So I'm curious if anyone else has read Ian Gawler's book or has heard of him, because I mean he was a big. I think before the internet caught on was when I used to hear of him in the.
And he had a healing centre down in Melbourne where people could go.
Yes.
And I kind of was trying to push Dad towards that.
Yes.
But of course, he read the book and he said, I don't know if I could do that meditation thing, and because it was also different for him. And,
we might come back to that because Vanessa's got a question there. I'm really wanting to make big food changes for my kids, but don't really know where to start. they are fussy? Well, that's a really good question, Vanessa. Fussy kids are actually, in my opinion, good because they'll know good food when they taste it. Now you've got kids.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're older kids.
Well, they are older kids, and
so I've got one that's 25 years of age now, and she's vegan.
She's vegan,
and
yes.
I've got one 22 years of age, and she's not.
And whilst they were living at home with...
They're still at home.
They're still at home, yes, okay. Well, because you've got a beautiful place. Yes. What...
So as they were growing up, they were pretty much vegetarian, and we had a very different diet to everybody else. But they loved the food that I cooked. So, you can just cut up veggies and put it in your casseroles or... anything that you're making, you just cut it up really finely and they don't even notice the difference, really.
Well, yes, now that's an interesting point. And thank you, Beck, for responding to Vanessa there by saying that there are vegan parent groups on Facebook. I recommend joining some for ideas. That is really good. The thing you said there that they didn't notice a difference, is that what you said? Yeah. This is a thing, I may have mentioned it last week. I can't actually remember if I did on the show or not, about my parents who were in their 70s having gone vegetarian, not yet vegan, but they went vegetarian a few months ago. My mum did it without telling my dad, and she did it by just by making the same things, and one of the things she makes is a shepherd's pie. She took the meat out of it and she put in meat substitutes. TVP, sanitarium products, for instance. And Dad couldn't tell the difference. And so she just kept doing it. So it brings back that saying of if you could live a healthy, happy, respectful life without harming others, why wouldn't you? So that's what it comes back to.
It just takes a little bit of change because they'll be used to a certain type of eating. So you just need to just reassure them that this is the new way that we're going to eat, and it's really healthy, and just keep talking to them about it. What's in the food? Oh, the celery is really good for your bones, and it helps them to stay really strong. And once they start to understand that, or the carrots are really great for your eyes, you can see well at night time, and all that sort of thing. You just keep reassuring them, and then they start to pick it up and they go, oh wow, I'm going to eat that carrot now because blah blah blah.
That is excellent. That's a good strategy. It's almost as if you had kids. Jasmine has given us a web address there, whatvegankidseat.com. Sounds good. I have heard of it. I can't remember if I have actually looked at it because I don't have a lot of kids myself. In fact, I could count the amount of kids I've got on this hand. Because I'm the kid. I never grew up. I'm the kid. So actually re-educating the kids and telling them how good the food is for them and that. But Vanessa, the big thing about food for any of us, whether it's kids or not, is taste. We usually eat for pleasure. So there are so many alternatives. This is the advice I'm giving, Vanessa, is that even if you wanted to go just into your supermarket and get vegan alternatives to what were meat-based products that you were getting, and even if it's maybe some of the processed packaged meal sort of things like, Sanitarium does certain things, but they help. For instance, my local supermarket, my local Coles, has a huge you would
range. The fries are really good.
Fries are good.
It's a brand that uses chia seeds and different sorts of seeds to make up like pretend chicken strips or schnitzels, and it looks really good. They wouldn't know the difference.
There's a company, Corn. They're going vegan, or they've gone vegan. They were vegetarian. They're going vegan. You can get a couple of these, cook them up for the kids and see what they think. They'll probably love them. They'll probably want more. And then you can go away from the process towards doing that as a more cook at home, whole foods based sort of thing. Ethan's joined us. Thank you, Ethan. Hang on, I'll just get back to... Hang on. Helping kids make the ethical connection really helps with their eating habits. Bite Size Vegan does great kids videos on YouTube. Okay, excellent. Jasmine says, what about talking with kids about the moral issue of not eating animals or products made of them or by them? Excellent. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Good advice.
There's a really good book out too for children as well. I'm not sure what it was called.
Oh, yes, there's several. There's several good ones out for kids, yes. How your kids are quite young, Vanessa, aren't they, I think? Because there are some really good kids' books out, and somebody, I'm not thinking of the names of them at the moment, but somebody will probably, Beck, maybe you remember them. We're getting some good stuff coming through here. This is, I'm liking this. Vanessa says, all my kids eat is chicken and veg or chicken and salad. You could go down to the supermarket now and get a vegan version of that the fries. Throw it at them, and they won't even know the difference. And
start introducing some salad as well, because everyone needs to have that raw food in their in their diet as well, not just cooked food. You need to have the enzymes of the raw food, and also when you start having cooked food, if you can eat some raw food before you start eating the cooked food, because we have this problem when you eat just cooked food, and if you're eating it all the time, the white blood cells rush into the colon, and they think there's something wrong. And research has shown us that as soon as we put cooked food into our mouth, it's called digestive leukocytosis, that's
a good word.
Yeah, and so your white blood cells are rushing to the colon because they think there's something wrong. And if you can eat raw food first before you eat the cooked food, it won't happen.
Okay.
So that means that if these white blood cells are rushing to the colon all the time, it's the immune system's on alert all the time.
Okay,
so you need
interesting.
So that's why I always have a salad before I eat cooked
salad
food.
Before you eat cooked food, yes. Yeah. Okay. Corn have released vegan products in the UK, but not Australia, Jasmine says. Okay. I wasn't aware of that. I thought that they were going to release them here. Maybe it's yet to happen. Jessica says, I just saw someone post today that Coles is now stocking the vegan range of corn. Okay, so maybe it's happening. Nicole says corn in Australia now. Jasmine says Ruby Roth has some great kids books, and that's the name, one of the names of the company. Yeah, Ruby Roth. Yeah. Lachlan Huntley Chipper says, first time viewer, love the show. Thank you, Lachlan.
Hey, thank you.
Vanessa's kids are 4 and 6. What a great age to be educating them about the ethics, the morality of treating animals with as much respect as we want to be treated with, as everyone wants to be treated with, and then demonstrating that in a practical sense by not eating them and transitioning them to vegan products.
Bring about that love for all humanity.
Yeah. Beck says Ruby Roth is a great vegan children's author. Jasmine says Guardian Australia has fishless fillets and chicken and beefless strips, etc. So yeah, Guardian. Okay, so Flannery's, that's another place. Getting back to you there, Vanessa. Flannery's has these Guardian, however you pronounce it, products. I've never had them either, but people do say they're good. Okay. I've tried the fries once. These are things that I used to eat a bit, in my earlier days. But I nowadays tend to stick with the rice, quinoa, the beans, the lentils, the steamed veg. If you get a nice steamer, I use a Panasonic steamer that cost about $60-$70. It's a rice steamer, but you put all your veggies in the top layer, your rice and your quinoa and beans in the bottom layer, and they just come up. They come up really, really nice. So
or a crock pot.
Crock pot, there's another one, or a crock pot. You can do your baked veggies. Baked veggies are fantastic.
Don't forget your salad.
Don't forget. Remember.
Yes, remember your salad.
Remember your salad. Yeah. You can do your stir fry. You can put in some rice. If you want to make it gluten-free, you can put in some rice strips, what they call that, rice noodles, in your stir fry, maybe a bit of soy sauce, and that sort of absorbs the flavour, and put some sweet potato in. I love sweet potato, that's great.
So that for lunch today too.
It's sweet potato is fantastic.
Yeah. I just steamed it with the salad.
Yeah.
It was great.
Easy. It's easy. And then, this time of the year in Australia, when it's cold, like it was on the bicycle this morning at less than 4 degrees, this time of the year, a nice thick soup for dinner is wonderful. I do a soup with potato and eggplant and broccoli and sweet potato and a few other veggies in there. Just boil it up very briefly and then let it cool down and put it through the blender and make it into a thick, really nice thick blended soup. And then yeah, that's what I have. Love it. Okay, Ethan says mixed beans and pasta is easy done with a pasta sauce. Yeah, even add veggie sausages. Yeah. Pasta is so quick and easy. I mean, it's you don't want to have it every.
I don't eat it. But
But
I buy the edamame pasta.
Oh yeah, where do you get that from?
From the health food store.
Okay, I've got to try that.
It's high in protein.
Okay.
And it's not starchy like your normal pasta. But it is a little bit more expensive.
I'm writing that down. That's edamame. I always wondered how you pronounce that
noodles.
word. Edamame noodles,
so you can get spaghetti or noodles. You can get black bean ones as well.
Okay, that is...
And they're really high in protein and they don't... Yeah, you just feel better when you eat them rather than the starchy wheat ones.
I have gluten-free noodles. The brand, I can't think, it's in Coles, but I get the gluten-free ones. There's quite a range of them. Robert has joined us. Thank you for joining us, Robert.
Thank you.
Good on you. Beck says, Vanessa, message me if you need any advice. Yes, because Beck has one young one and another one on the way. Or is Beck, has your other one been born yet? I can't remember. And yes, there is a vegan cooking class here on the Gold Coast. I'll message you the details after this live feed. And
there's lots of help out there now.
There is. This is the thing I was actually going to... yes, good evening, Robert. This is the thing I was going to mention is that there is a hell of a lot of help. There is just really... These are fantastic times to be a vegan in 2016. It's just amazing. You know, you really don't have to search. You just have to do a couple of words in Google and, yeah, there are so many sites doing different...
ones that I got onto in the beginning were, well, the first one I think that turned me vegan was Mimi Kirk.
Oh, Mimi Kirk,
remember Mimi Kirk?
Mimi Kirk, yes.
She's in her 70s and she was vegetarian for a long time, then she went vegan.
Yes.
She looks amazing. Yes. She looks like she's like 50 and she's in her 70s.
Incredible.
And she's got a cookbook. I bought her vegan cookbook. She's got really great juices and smoothies and raw food, all sorts of raw food in there.
Okay.
And so she's one of the ones that prompted me to go the extra mile. And then also, Karen Collins is also, she's a raw foodist. She looks amazing.
Karen
Calabrese. She's from America as well.
Okay, I don't know her.
Dan the Regenerator.
Dan the Regenerator.
The Life Regenerator.
The Life Regenerator. That's good.
He was great. He was great too.
That's good. I'm going to upgrade my name to Harry the... I don't know. I'll come up with something. Vanessa says, love your passion, Harry. Well, thanks, Vanessa. It's hard not to be passionate when you've been vegan 36 years. What's actually making me so more passionate nowadays is seeing this awareness and seeing how many young people, because I run Vegan Life and because we get a big age range of people coming along. We have nearly 600 members in the group now. So many young people, teenagers and younger, kids that are vegan from birth. I'm just like, this is amazing, you know. Because when I started, and I've said this before on other shows, I was the only vegan in the village. That's what I felt like. I didn't know anyone else that was vegan. I was just doing my thing. I kept to myself. I just want to keep up with the comments because they're coming through here. Elaine has joined us. Thank you for joining us, Elaine. Nicole says, Vegan Easy Challenge website makes it so easy. Daily recipes and meal ideas. Yes. And also one of my favourites is Forks Over Knives. For the amount of information, helpful information, easy to read, recipes, stuff like that. Just fantastic. There's, what's that other one? Green Earth or whatever it is. I can't remember it, but anyway, you've got a lot of ideas there, Vanessa. I hope you're able to write some of them down or remember some of them. Jessica says, findingvegan.com updates recipes daily, has endless ideas. See what's fantastic about doing this show, sorry, I'm looking over there just checking how we're going for time. Doing this show is that I'm learning so much. from what you guys are sharing. So I think that's awesome. Stephen, thank you for joining us all the way up there, halfway to Brisbane. Wow, that's a long way. And Abby has joined us. Abby, thank you for joining us. Abby, you will be in this seat. One day soon you will be in this seat. I know we've talked about it a few times, because because you've got some wonderful stuff to share with us as well. I've got the next month booked out, and we've got some pretty interesting guests coming on in the next month. I'm sort of tempted. I'm very excited about. I'm sort of tempted to sort of say who we've got coming in, and and then I'm like, no, I might just, yeah. There's a good lineup. There's a good lineup there. Yeah. Stay tuned. So Abby, I'll have to wait till August before we can fit you in. But anyway, So this is very interesting. So getting the kids, making the kids. We're going back to we're still talking about this theme with Vanessa's kids and getting them to be healthy and understand the kids are fussy, and this is why if you substitute something that is something they already like, and Vanessa said they liked, was it chicken and veg, I think she said. So if you find the vegan alternative of that as a processed, initially as a processed meal, and just give that to them, and maybe not even tell them, and just see how that goes, you know. So we were talking about your father. We were talking about just getting back. Now, sadly, he had bowel cancer. Yeah. Now, as you and I, sorry, go on. Yeah. Well,
he loved his meat.
He loved his meat. Yeah. So he would have what?
Bacon and eggs for breakfast.
Bacon and eggs for breakfast.
Ham sandwich for lunch, and then T-bone for dinner, or chops, or that's what they did in those days.
Yeah. Now that, I mean, it's a sad thing because we have, I think, generally we have a lot more awareness now of.
In some areas.
Well, we have awareness if people are willing to listen to it, and that. Right. We also have a lot of people that are very good at burying their head in the sand, People like ourselves that have been on the vegan journey for a while tend to notice that awareness, tend to associate with other people, connected with it. So, But now I'm just seeing, I'm not seeing any more questions come up. Have we got any more questions? Because we've just gone stagnant there for a moment. I'm just checking what's happening here. Let me just have a look over here on the computer and see if everything's going all right over here. All right, we need to update this to check where we're up to. And yeah, we're still okay. Yeah, we're up to... Well, very slow loading on my computer. Oh yeah, there we go. Though we're not actually saying... I'm not learning much at all, other than I'm live on my computer, which I already knew. Okay, Jason has joined us from Brisbane. Thank you, Jason.
Thanks,
or
Jason.
Most of the way to Brisbane. So, when you thought about coming on the show, did you have some other things that you wanted to share? Did you have some thoughts or some? Because you've already given us a lot of information. I like.
Let's see. I think that it would be great if people introduce more greens into their diet. As in having green smoothies.
Okay, I've recently become a green smoothie addict. And I got to say, guys, yes to green smoothie. Do it.
Because sometimes you get,
you don't get enough.
At lunch you don't feel full because of whatever you've had. Yeah. And so if you have a green smoothie, you're getting in a lot of magnesium. And magnesium is so beneficial for the body. So we need to get those greens into the body, and that's an easy way to do it.
It is. Is it, well, hang on, we'll just hold on there a second. Vanessa says, just taking it all in, so much to learn, but happy to make changes. We don't want to overwhelm you, Vanessa. My life philosophy is to try and keep things as simple as possible, that usually the solution to any problem comes down to a very simple answer, normally. So we just complicate it. Human beings are very good at complicating things. So Vanessa, just take on board what you can. Don't let it overwhelm you. Maybe just go to one or two of the sites that have been recommended that sort of resonate with you. Have a look at some of the stuff there. Maybe just have next time you're in your supermarket, just have a look through the health food section. Have a look in maybe the frozen food section. Have a look at the vegan alternatives and just see something that catches your eye and just work from there. So Jasmine says, plant-based cookbook for kids. See more. I can't see more on there. Can I see it on my computer? Okay, so she's given a link to the... Thank you, Jasmine, for the link to the plant-based cookbook for kids. And smoothie versus juice. Okay, good question. Yes. Both. I've done a bit of research on this, so I'm going to go first. Because I had the same question. They both have their place. Ethan has exactly answered it. Jeez, I didn't even get to answer the question. Damn. Exactly right. Juices miss out on the fibre, generally speaking, but get the nutrients in faster into the bloodstream, the minerals and vitamins and that into the bloodstream. Yep. Smoothies have the fibre. I'm trying to think is there a disadvantage to the smoothies? I'm trying to think what the disadvantage was. I'm not sure that there is. Okay. Yeah. So Beck has answered that smoothies keep more nutrients in, but don't substitute them for actual meals. That's correct too. My experience was, surprisingly, I wasn't eating enough greens, which is just, I like vegan junk food. What can I say? I like Coca Luscious. Anyone that's watched the previous shows see me always with the Coca Luscious. Anyway, not Coca Luscious, Chocolants. I like Coca Luscious as well, but the Chocolants biscuits. We were talking about them earlier. Yeah, I did too. Yeah, you're stuck with them now. So maybe a couple of months ago, I experimented. I was having a couple of days where I wasn't feeling myself. I was actually feeling a little bit lightheaded, a little bit dizzy, and I thought, something not right here. My body's telling me there's something not right here, and it just came to me. I just thought, yes, I'm really not having a lot of greens. I'll up my green intake, and I thought, quickest, easiest way to do it will be I'll have a green smoothie. I made up a green smoothie that day, and I reckon within an hour or two, I was dancing around the room. The difference was like, aha! I'm not getting enough greens. It was like, bam, Yeah. And so I've been having religiously.
Every day I have one.
Yeah. So green smoothies, love them. Robert says, smoothie or juice. Where's the family loved pressed juices, and as a rule, try to stick to 80% veggie and 20 fruit. Yeah, look, I love a juice too. I mean, juices are beautiful. Juices are beautiful.
Go for all of that.
Yeah, go for all of it. Yeah. I love a carrot, apple, and celery juice was a favourite of mine. The thing that I like about smoothies is it's easier. The juices, as they're cleaning up afterwards, that just annoys me. You've got all the pulp. You've got the recycled bin that I put it in, the food recycling bin. All the pulp goes there, fills that up really quick. I've got to wash it all out. The smoothie is just so much easier. That's another... the reason why I got a PA, because I'm time poor. So she can do all that work. Anyway, so... It
just helps you stay healthier, doesn't it? It's easy.
Yes.
And you just put it all in the blender.
Yes.
You probably need a Vitamix blender, wouldn't you? Or one of those powerful blenders.
I'm using the most powerful Philips blender you can get, which I think is about a 1500 watt motor.
Doing well?
You can blend anything in it. Okay, so Stephen says, I like to eat the veggie and drink the fruit. I like to eat the veggie and drink the fruit. Isn't it meant to be the other way around? Drink the... Anyway.
So is he saying he likes to have the green smoothie and the fruit as a juice? Maybe?
Yes, that's what he's saying. So. Yes, okay.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Anything's great.
Now, Beck makes a good point, and this is something I hadn't quite got to either. The act of chewing activates the proper saliva to break down the nutrients properly into the body. So if you're huge on drinking smoothies or juices, try doing it with the chewing action. That's good.
The smoothies that I make are quite chewy anyway. I put hemp seed in there. I've got a lot of things that I put in, and I sprinkle goji berries on top, and I'm chewing the whole way through.
Yeah, so you're obviously not able to go through it quickly then, are you?
No,
Okay,
no,
that's good.
I've got a lot in there, so I not really. It's so thick and there's a lot of roughage in there, so I can't really just drink it down. I have to chew it.
Okay, and Nicole says pressed juices can be expensive, but you can just chuck it all in a blender and you get the fibre. Yes. Yeah. So.
Yeah, with the juices, you need a lot more produce to get.
Yes.
One
yes.
glass.
Yeah. This is why I'm really liking the. I've really noticed a difference in my energy and just my overall feeling of well-being when I started upping the greens, and that's going to be. I mean, I could have done it the other way. I could have just gone, okay, I'm just going to put a hell of a lot more greens in my meals, which I probably should have.
And you can do both.
Yeah, well, I can do both. That's right. Yeah, and I have done both. So, yeah, good. I'm going to say again, guys, good audience participation tonight. Good, intelligent, non. What do you call those?
Antagonistic.
Yeah, yeah. No, what do you call it when you get somebody in there that's just making pointless posts?
Just harmful.
Yeah. We're using the word earlier. A person that's
the trolling.
Trolling. That's right. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. Non-trolling posts. Yeah, that's it. So that's good. I'm appreciating them.
And just talking about green smoothies.
Yeah.
A couple of months ago, I went on a green smoothie fast. And I did that for 7 days. I just had green smoothies the whole time. Yeah. And that's really good for cleansing the body. Yeah. And that was great. And I didn't go into ketosis like I do when I just do juice fasting.
Now,
as quickly.
Okay. Now, what do you put when you were doing that? What did you have the same recipe that you were using each day? Or did you vary it with your green smoothies?
No, you need to vary your greens.
Okay.
So you need to have different sorts of greens. So just don't always just put spinach into your green smoothie all the time.
Put kale in another time.
You need to mix it up so you get lots of different enzymes and vitamins.
Yeah.
And not just rely on just the green spinach all the time.
I've got.
What do you call it?
Rocket. Oh yeah. Okay.
Dandelion.
I'm going to write these down.
Green leaves that you can get at the market.
Rocket, dandelion.
Go to the farmers market. Support them.
You can get a smoothie mix.
You can get the smoothie mix. Yeah.
One of the at the local markets here at Palm Beach Crumman High School on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Benjamin, thank you for joining us.
Thanks,
the markets there, they have one of the organic sellers has a smoothie mix.
Yes, I buy that one, the organic smoothie.
Yeah, and that's a good point you made. Support the farmers, the organic. We're not talking about animal farmers. We're talking about the organic produce, fruit and veggie farmers. There is 2 there currently at the markets. When you first go into the markets at Palm Beach Crumman, there were 3, but now organics is no longer there.
Yeah, wherever you are, go and. Go to farmers markets. You'll get something really fresh and beautiful.
I mean, I can't remember the last time I got fruit and vegetables from a supermarket, or even.
They do have an organic section.
They do.
Which is great.
They do. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. And would you recommend to others to join local vegan meetups? Oh yes, Beck makes a good point. Yes, that's a very good point. Vanessa, we have a couple of really good. How could I forget this? We have a couple of really good groups, or more than a couple of really good groups. On Facebook, we have Young Gold Coast Vegans, and we have Gold Coast Vegan Friends. So Vanessa and anyone else that isn't a member of those groups, highly recommend joining those groups because you'll find out about when they have events on. You can ask any questions, get lots of advice. Beck is very active on the Young Gold Coast Vegans Facebook page. Ethan has said Benny. Oh, right. Ethan's noticed that Benjamin's on. Yeah. Okay. And then, of course, there's my meetup group, Vegan Life, which has every fortnight. We have a function where we either catch up at a restaurant or we do a vegan luck in the park. Now, we had one last Saturday. It was a fantastic day for a beautiful winter's day. We were in the park up at Macintosh Island Park, just north of Surface. We had 33 people came along. Great, nice spread of food. People all sitting out in picnic blankets by the lake enjoying themselves. Why weren't you there, Karen?
I came to the previous one.
You were at the, that's right. You brought along your vegan daughter as well, yes, Ilana. Yes. That was at Easy House. We had about 20 21 or something, I think, at that one, which is actually a relatively small number. We've had up to 65 at some of them. So our record for meetup at Easy House was 48, I think, last year. So, yes, so Vanessa, if you are still watching, there are the groups that you can join. That's just some of them. There are others. There's Vegans in Australia. There's Southeast Queensland Vegans. There's plenty. So plenty of groups there that post a lot of different advice, a lot of information. I'm learning all the time. I'm seeing posts every day that come through on these different groups, and I'm thinking, wow, I didn't know about this. I didn't know about this event. I didn't know about this product. I didn't know about this situation happening or whatever. I didn't know about this person. I didn't know about whatever, you know. And some of that information then I share on my page because, you know, I'm trying to create awareness for other people, which is also one of the purposes behind this show, that we get this ability to be interactive like this, and people like Vanessa can come on and ask questions and help, you know, transition to a more compassionate way of life. So like I said earlier, if we could live happy, healthy lives without hurting others, then why wouldn't we? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I mean, it's not, you're not only helping others, but you're helping yourself. It's helping everyone across the board. You know, it's
because everyone knows that animal products. Well, not everyone knows, but it's getting out there that it creates disease in the body.
Creates disease in the mind. Creates disease in the emotions.
It's not sustainable for the earth.
It's not sustainable for the earth. That's right. It's environmentally destructive. On a lot of different levels, it's environmentally destructive. And ultimately, or most importantly, it's completely the most disrespectful thing that you can do to any form of life is to kill them. It is the most disrespectful thing you can do, isn't it? You know, if you have any notion of love for animals, and it comes back to that, you know, you have a pet, why love one but kill the other, you know? And I've actually debated this with some people that have sort of not been accepting of the fact that we should be respectful to all life. And I said, well, you know, they've said, no, if I want to eat animals, I will. And I'm like, well, if I wanted to eat your pet, how would you feel about that? And people get defensive about that, and because they love their pet. Well, let's stop being so selfish. Let's expand it outwards to loving all life, because in the end, it opens our heart and we become a better person and we have a more peaceful planet. So Benjamin's sending lots of bananas. Good on you, Benjamin. Benjamin's a top bloke. He's just come back from overseas. I caught up with him last Thursday night, I think it was, at Govinda's, 100% vegan Govinda's. Yes. Okay, Australian vegan foodies, yum. Vanessa says, awesome guys, thank you. Oh, that's my pleasure, Vanessa. We're here to educate and to have fun as well. Ethan says, do you post meetups on Facebook? Yes, you know I do. Don't you know that, Ethan? And or is that question to Beck? Yes, Ethan, check the pin posts in both Young Gold Coast Vegans and Gold Coast Vegan Friends. And all Gold Coast Vegan meetups and events are listed there, yes. Now, Vanessa, interesting. You feel emotional when an indoor plant dies. So you should. It's life, and if you feel connected to it, of course. We all, you know, it's very, very hard to be detached, and for a person to eat meat or to consume animal products, there has to be, to do it over any period of time, there has to be a disconnect. You're not authentic. You're not listening to your heart. And so this does create a disharmony. This affects you on many levels, and you're just not at peace with yourself. So if you...
Most people are unaware of it as well.
Yes, people are unaware of it, but I also believe that there is always like an inner voice knocking at the door of the heart saying, I'm here, you're choosing not to listen to me. Yeah. So I think we all have the opportunity, otherwise it wouldn't be fair. Yeah. We have the opportunity, but we don't listen to it. We choose not to. We can trace our history back to a point where we decided to shut down a certain part of ourselves, you know, and it's on many different levels. There's a few, Jessica said, I'm loving that there are so many vegan meetups these days. It's definitely expanded lately. It has, hasn't it? It's when I started doing in 2011, 2012, when I started doing the meetups for Vegan Sun, we were doing one a month. If we were lucky, we were only getting maybe sometimes half a dozen people, maybe a dozen people. now we will regularly get 2 dozen, 3 dozen or more people to a meetup, and we're doing them every fortnight. Other people are doing them. We have many events on every weekend. It's amazing. And Jessica continues, so many opportunities to meet such friendly new people who share the same values. It is fantastic, isn't it, Jessica? I mean, it's just, yeah, I can't put it into words how good it feels. So it's like the heaven on earth sort of thing.
And you get lots of tips too from,
you get lots of tips, yeah.
You speak to, you get lots of tips.
Yeah, the more I meet other people and the more I do these things, the more I realise the less I know, which is fine because I want to learn. So Lorna has joined us. Thank you for joining us, Lorna. We're probably about 5 minutes away from ending this show, which has gone rather quickly. It's had a nice little roll. Once we get into a roll, it does go quick. It's so before we run out of time, I want to mention again the competition for Mandela Organic Arts Cafe. Win a $50 meal by sharing this live stream as many times as possible, and we will be announcing the winner next Tuesday night on the 5th of July. Also on that night, I have somebody from Farm Animal Rescue who is going to be joining me. Very much looking forward to talking to him about the work they do. I've been up there once and was very, very impressed just with the whole setup, the beautiful property that they've got, the animals that they've rescued, the amount of devotion and dedication that these guys, it's just, man, honestly, I had to hand it to them. I thought, I don't have that in me to do that, I thought I was really, really impressed. So we've got somebody from Farm Animal Rescue next week going to be talking about what they do there, talking about the fundraising they do. There's been a few different Farm Animal Rescue events that I've mentioned on my page that I've gone along to, and you're supporting a really good cause. So, and Jessica says, yay. Jessica is part of the team there that volunteers and does an incredible amount of work with Farm Animal Rescue. So, Jessica, my hat off to you because once again on the weekend you were helping out there in Surface, and I just, really, really impressed with, I see you, I think, at every event. So, so it's people like you that are just, making a difference in the world instead of just thinking selflessly about where's the next party at or, how am I going to make myself happy. You're actually out there selflessly doing things to help the animals and to help create awareness. And, man, that's pretty impressive. So, And Lorna says, hey there, Harry. I know I'm late tonight, but enjoying what I'm hearing about the vegan meats. That's good, Lorna. And you can watch this live stream on my page shortly after it's finished, about a minute or two after it's finished. I'll also upload it to YouTube in the next few days as well, so you'll be able to watch it on my YouTube channel. So, Karen, it's been wonderful having you along, and hopefully because you live so far away, you'll be able to join us. I'm saying that because you live so close. If I threw a rock in the right direction, I could all... Yep, we just glitched for a second then. So before it completely times out, I'll say thank you to everyone for the really strong audience participation tonight.
Thank you.
Very positive. Thank you for the questions. Really, really good. Share this video as much as possible. Next week, we'll have somebody from Farm Animal Rescue. And remember the competition. You could be having fantastic pizzas or any of the other fantastic food at Mandela simply by sharing this. That's a really easy competition to win. Just share it as much as possible. So thank you very much, Karen. It's hugs, love hugs, big hugger. So, and Nicole says thank you, and Jessica says thanks, Harry. And yeah, thanks, guys. It's because of you that makes it so enjoyable. So, live vegan and prosper, and we'll see you guys soon. And as I like to say, ahimsa. And thank you, Beck. We will see you next time. Bye.